Hi everyone, my name's Ashwin Aruldas, and today we're going to go over the site collector installation. For that, you would need to log into the ECP instance. Once you've logged into the ECP instance, you will be clicking on collectors and then selecting site collectors. Now, on the screen, you will select new site collector instance, and we'll start off by giving it a site collector name. I'm just going to use this one here. And we'll also need to select the host name or the IP address of the instance we're going to be installing this on. So for that, I have an instance set up. I'm going to copy the IP address and I'm going to paste that in here. Now, what we also would like to do at this stage is to validate that the host we want to install the site collector on has all the proper specs. We can download this pre-check script and upload it to the site collector, the host we want to install it on. I already have it here. So I'm going to just run this pre-check script. And as you can see, all the specs for the site collector have been met. It says pre-check successful. So I can go ahead with the site collector installation. This is important. A lot of times we see some discrepancies around package versions installed on the systems. So it's always best to run this pre-check script. That way it eliminates any weird issues during your installation. All right, so I've got all the information in here. I'm going to hit next. And now it's going to give me the commands that I need to run. So I'm going to copy this command first, which essentially is just doing a screen setup. So that way, if I lose connection, I'm not going to lose installation progress. Now I'm going to copy this command. And I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to paste this. And I'm going to run. So this will do the pre-checks a couple of times again. But once it's done with its pre-checks, it's going to download the SXP. It may run another series of pre-checks depending on the site collector version. And then it'll continue on with the installation. And while we're waiting for the installation, we can check on this page. It's going to give you a status of what stage of the installation the site collector is at. All right, it's finished doing its pre-checks, downloaded the package. Now it's doing the actual installation. This does take some time, and most of the time somewhere around the halfway mark in terms of the number of attempts, the site collector installation is done. All right, at the halfway mark, looks like everything's communicating. All right, we've got a status message saying that it's complete. I'm going to exit from my screen session. And let's take a look at the status page as well. And it does say the NGSE has been successfully installed. Right? I'm going to click Done. And now that the site collector is set up, we now have to set up the processors like the syslog collector, the LDAP collector. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a syslog collector. I'm going to select syslog. And I'm going to use the same naming convention. You don't have to, just keeping things simple here. I'm going to select the site collector instance. And now, most of the time, you are expected to see syslog traffic on port 514. Because of how the site collector installation works, we cannot use any of the reserved ports. We have to select a port above 1024. So I'm going to set it to 1514, and I'm making sure all my syslog traffic is also coming to this site collector on port 1514. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to select TCP, and I'm going to hit setup. Once that's done, I'm going to go to overview. Got to wait for a few seconds for it to show up. Now you can see it is running, and in a few minutes it's going to start showing traffic coming through as well. All right, now we see some traffic coming through as well. So we're good with the site collector setup. I'm also going to go ahead and set up a LDAP collector. Again, I'm going to try and keep the naming convention the same. This is the IP address I'm going to be connecting to. Don't have a secondary LDAP. I'm going to just leave it on port 389. Let's get the bind DN, bind password, and let's get the base DN. All right, next. I'm going to leave the LDAP frequency for 1 hour. That's fine for now. I'm going to hit setup, and let's go to overview. It's setting things up, and this will also take a few minutes before it starts pulling the context data. All right, now we can see that this is also running. Still hasn't pulled context yet, but it should start pulling in a couple of minutes. All right, now we can see that it has started pulling context data as well. So this is the basic setup that we would have to do. Follow the instructions in the site collector guide available on docs.exabeam.com.